onto Prairie, nearly hit by several vehicles. It gives you an idea just how desperate the suspect is at this point in time to get away. We're back southbound now on Prairie, still in the Torrance area. And if the suspect continues here, could try to get back on the freeway. But it looks like at this point in time we'll be able to tell once this turn is made. Got a green light, made a left turn, and now there's the on-ramp back onto the 405. And sure enough, we're staying on the 405 freeway. We're going to be 405 freeway northbound, and we do have an LA County Sheriff unit overhead at the moment. It's actually the 405 freeway southbound ramp. And now, if it's anything like what we saw earlier, we're going to see some extremely high speeds with this vehicle on the freeway, well over 100 miles an hour. There's not much traffic in front of this individual. For the moment, the individual has somewhat lost the undercover vehicle. I can see it. You don't see it in your shot. But we've seen some extremely high rates of speed, and we don't see anything in the way of traffic right now. In between here, it looks like down through Carson and almost into Long Beach. Can't quite see that far, but it gives you an idea. It's on a stretch of freeway where the suspect can continue to travel at a very high rate of speed. The patrol unit behind him is so difficult to track because it's a black SUV and it blends in with all the other vehicles, is traveling basically at the same speed. So this unit...
Yeah, RG, I think I do, but the thing about it is I can't control who it goes to.
They're going to go to surveillance mode.
We found out last time.
The driver, or I should say the...
So I think I can give out 5 more subs, I just don't...
...is traveling at the same
Hey,
rate
Vic, thank you.
as a suspect. If you
Predictions, all right, hold on.
In and out of traffic here on the 405 freeway, well over 100 miles an hour. Extremely dangerous situation when a suspect is willing to swerve in and out of traffic at these types of speeds.
Maybe.
You're not seen. Look at that. Oh, boy, close call there, getting back into the carpool lane. And when the suspect is not seen by other motorists, you can see extremely bad accidents in a situation like this. It's such a high rate of speed. Even the unmarked vehicle is having a hard time finding it. It's low up here. It looks like the suspect is getting off of the 405 freeway. This may be...
All right, the prediction's up on Twitch.
I think it might be Normandy.
Gamble your channel points.
North or southbound turn here. Suspect now, I believe, is going to be traveling southbound on Normandy, and we'll have an idea here in a moment whether or not the patrol car or the unmarked...
Hey, Lidra, what's up? Shinji, E. Dexter, Quinn B, Liam, Dude 22072, Whimsical, EK, Sean, what's up?
190th coming up on 190th at the moment. And waiting.
Charles, what's going on? Jerry, spreading love. Whoa, he's out.
Looks like there he's getting out of the vehicle. It's a foot bail. And in situations like this, the helicopter overhead, the vehicle is still moving. The suspect's trying to walk slowly, try and make it look like he's not the suspect, maybe just a pedestrian.
Yeah.
And the vehicle comes to a stop there and hits that pole possibly. The suspect is behind the tree, walking slowly. There's an air unit overhead. They'll have units here in a moment to try and take the suspect into custody. That's a sky zone. It's unclear whether he may have gone into that building.
What is sky zone?
I wasn't able to really tell, but they do have a helicopter overhead. And the patrol unit with the unmarked unit was behind the suspect, has not pulled up yet. Traveling at such a high rate of speed, it was really hard for an unmarked vehicle to travel at those rates of speed because people didn't see that vehicle either. The
jump place?
Unit. Not sure if that's a suspect. I don't believe so. I believe the suspect had a darker shirt
Give
on.
points as we're ending it.
Now, I think we're going to
we're
see
deleting
more
it.
units pour into this area and try and get the suspect into custody. More than likely, the sheriff's unit has him in sight.
Scott, this is Philip Palmer joining you. The woman in the person in the orange was a witness. You could see them get on the phone because the suspect was dressed all. No,
where did the suspect go?
Did he put a jacket on? Because initially he was all black and walking away.
Where'd he go?
I thought he had gone in behind these other that other house right under that Jacoby Myers sign there. That did not look like the suspect unless they had an orange jacket with them.
Go off to the right a little bit, right in there. There's somebody just walking nonchalantly back towards the curb. You know, when the suspect decided to walk out, Philip, and not make a run.
This person's looking for them, right?
Serves as somewhat of a decoy. And
there's a cop.
Walk towards that sky zone. May have even went inside. It's unclear, and they just didn't have patrol cars right behind them. That's the unmarked unit right there. And you can imagine how hard it is for this unit to travel on the freeway well over 100 miles an hour and try and keep the suspect in that vehicle in sight because people don't see that vehicle coming either like they would a patrol car. For the moment, we've lost them. Now, LA County Sheriff has a helicopter overhead. More than likely, they followed the suspect, and they probably have a good idea where that suspect is, either inside the structure or went towards the gas station. But you do see now, Philip, a lot more units are pouring in.
Well, and when I just was watching your signal, it did look like the person in the orange was there, but they have the same type of build as
show
the
a
other
replay
person, and that
or
person
like
was on the
I don't
phone.
know. I guess they just
So
weren't in the
made me
right place
think
for
that,
it.
Oh, that's much more similar. That
There's
person.
Wait, that's the guy.
Is an unmarked vehicle.
They're not going to
Or-
let people just
Those
leave
vehicles
the
right
area
there
at
are
this
the
point.
gang unit from the sheriff's department.
Or
Yeah, they're not going to
So
let
if-
people just start driving out of this area at that point, right?
No, and if you're right about one of those, go back in if you would for a second, Marcel. If you're right about one of those individuals, the woman in the orange top or the other man there being the suspect, they're going to keep them until they identify whether or not they could be.
Nah, that's not
I
the
have
guy.
a suspicion that they were following this individual, and they know who the individual is because we got unmarked gang unit vehicles pursuing them. So more than likely, they really know who this is, and they'll be able to identify that it's not one of those two.
Trampoline
They're
park,
pulling
so this is
away,
like a
and that
kids
does not
thing?
appear to be the case. So the suspect may have gone inside the Sky Zone there. You know, Sky Zone, I believe, is one of those jumpies, have a bunch of trampolines. Whether they're open right now or not, it's unclear, but you can see more units.
It looked like one of the doors there was
Yeah,
open.
It was somewhat deliberate in the way that the suspect pulled over at this location, and then that's when he decided to get out. And as you mentioned, Scott, I don't know if we have that able to re-rack, but he just, even though he unceremoniously kind of dumped himself out onto the street, he very casually got up and walked away as if this was his intent, was to go to this space.
That's very possible, or he just did not want to draw attention to himself. He got out of the vehicle and said, you know, if you make a run for it, you know, bystanders are going to see you, and they're going to say, hey, what's going on? That guy's running, and then see the patrol car, and they may say, hey, he went that way. It's unclear exactly what his intention was. If he knows this area, he went into this.
10:30 a.m. How many folks are
was,
jumping on a
thinking, I'm going
track?
to take a walk through this area.
I
Since
kind
you
of
could see
question
behind
like
him, you could
how
tell that
well
there were no
those
units
businesses
behind
do
him.
in the first
He was traveling
place.
at such a high rate of speed, the other unmarked vehicles from the sheriff's department really couldn't keep up with him safely. Whether or not, I'm not sure what kind of business this is, the gas station on the bottom of the screen, whether he went down into the gas station, it's unclear. They did have a helicopter overhead, so hopefully they have some sort of idea it's in the gas station or in the Sky Zone. Yeah,
it seems as if that sheriff's helicopter has been right above the whole time. And I think you mentioned that earlier, that this person, they had eyes on him very early on. So it's going to be tough if he did get into that building. That's a large area to have to sweep. Scott, that vehicle, that SUV that's right there in the parking lot of Sky Zone, it's almost parked at an angle.
A lot of
It
kids'
seemed as
birthday
if somebody
parties,
was
right? That's what
trying
I would
to
think.
leave that parking lot when they pulled.
Popular for
that
kids'
one right
birthday
there.
parties.
No, they're in a parking spot. But there was a black SUV that was trying to drive out, and I couldn't tell if they actually got out or if they just completely blocked
Just like a
that
real
space. You
novelty
haven't seen
kind of thing,
anybody
you know?
depart that area yet, have you?
We have not seen a vehicle depart here. JJ was asking me a question. It's 190th and Normandy. That's the intersection here. Excuse me, of Western. 190th and Western. That's the intersection. We didn't see a vehicle pop out. We followed the vehicle for a moment when the suspect went behind a tree. The vehicle the suspect was driving and he walked away from because it rolled for a bit. It looks like they may believe that the suspect is inside the Sky Zone. It's a pretty big structure. Open up a little bit if you would, Marcel. You
I mean, there's got to be people in
they've
there
shut
who
down
could have
even a
seen the
little bit more.
person.
You've got patrol units now searching the grass alongside of the 405 freeway there. Then there's a portion of 190th they've shut down, and now Western in this area. So it's unclear if they have them barricaded inside the Sky Zone.
That's a big-ass building
like
for a
they're concerned
trampoline
about
place.
the gas station at all, so at this point in time, they don't believe that the suspect is there. But it doesn't look like they know for sure he's in the Sky Zone. So if they knew that, I don't think you'd see the search outside the structure as much as we're seeing. So they think they're going to have to clear it because they don't know. But that leads me to believe that the helicopter overhead also lost track of that suspect, or else they'd have a lot better direction on where to go. But I do believe that this suspect...
He might have got away, RG.
You see that many unmarked gang unit patrol cars, or gang unit vehicles, I should say. More than likely, they've been surveilling this individual. And then during a robbery, he was a robbery suspect, according to the initial information. He took off and fled, and it was the gang units that were right behind him.
Well, it did. Again, this was from what I could see in your shot at the very beginning when he walked out. I feel like I saw a person in the orange jacket on the phone almost immediately, as if that person happened to be, when we saw them walking away. So if that was the case, they might have a good indication as to where he ran. And if you combine it with sheriffs and whatever that person said, that might have also given them some identification, because there were people in that area that very possibly could have talked to deputy. I just couldn't tell if the person in the orange was with him or already.
Charles says he went into the Sky Zone.
First pulled up.
Yeah, they've already talked to the woman, I think, in the orange, and they didn't seem to be interested in her. Like I said, I have a feeling that they know who the suspect is. But we open up a little bit wider. What I see right now is they don't know where the suspect is.
Yeah.
If they thought he was inside the Sky Zone, if the helicopter would have saw him go inside the Sky Zone, they would be just surrounding the Sky Zone. But right now, they are searching the bushes.
Walls
They're
and floor trampolines.
Seen them. There's a parking lot.
The walls.
They're looking at a row of trees. They're shutting down Western and a portion of 190th. So it leads me to believe, at least for right now, they don't know where the suspect is.
True. And
Charles says he rewatched it, and the guy went in the Sky Zone
and try to get another vehicle and take off. It does look like there's a van parked in the parking lot, but not in any spaces there to the left, almost as if they're just in position trying to block things off.
Marcel was able to re-rack this. We're going to play it for you here real quick. This is the end, I believe, where he gets out of the vehicle.
Yeah, Sky Zone ad.
190th, and right here he's going to slow down, and then he's going to just slowly walk away from the vehicle and let the vehicle roll. Now, we followed these in a black shirt. He had a black top, black hat, blue jeans, and we lost him for just a second. There he is now, just walking slowly.
And there's a person in the orange right there behind.
Oh, yeah, so I don't think they're involved. It doesn't appear that's the case. Now we lost them, so we're looking at the vehicle,
just in a really bad
for the moment we go back up
angle.
We're back.
They're evacuating the Sky Zone.
I think they're bringing people out of the Sky Zone. So there's our video. We really didn't see him past that point.
No, but see the orange person still.
There's a bunch of people at the Sky Zone. That's more people than I would have expected. I saw like 10 people coming out of Sky Zone.
That person was on the sidewalk, walks around, and you could still see them in your video. So it's not as if there's no eyes on the ground. There was somebody that saw where he went, and that person was
Sent you a pic of it? Okay.
And now you look like it's got some guys more actively.
Well,
they might be just clearing the zone.
On the Sky Zone, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. They're clearing the Sky Zone.
Looks fun.
You may be absolutely right. It's impossible to know, but when they when they talked to the woman in the orange sweatshirt, if she had said, "Hey, the suspect's in the Sky Zone," they would have poured into the Sky Zone. She may have said that, and then they said, "Hey, let's just surround everything and look in the bushes as well."
Well, but Scott, oddly enough, it seemed this person right here is wearing orange as well. So orange might be people who work there. Because the person on the phone that we saw
that's very perceptive, yeah.
So, and then the second person was
maybe
in orange. So there are a lot of people around here in orange. I'm just saying that it did look as if somebody had eyes on him.
Maybe their work uniform is orange.
Progress to the authorities as to where he might have gone. They're not. I'm like you. They don't know for sure. It doesn't seem. But there were at least enough people around there that they're going to have information.
Yeah, they're going to clear the Sky Zone. If the suspect's in there, they're going to get him. There's no question about that. Like I said, we're pretty,
do you think there's lots of hiding places inside? Would it be easy to hide in the Sky Zone? Can you guys imagine the foot chase with the police, but they're jumping on trampolines? The cops are trying to chase this dude around the building.
But eventually, the suspect just drove so quickly that the sheriff's deputy driving that undercover vehicle was unable to stay behind him safely, and then they got the helicopter overhead.
There's ball pits too, dude.
Like they believe the suspect is
that's just like a comedy.
They're probably talking to everyone who comes out. Did you see a guy?
There's cops with their big ass vests and stuff trying to jump on the trampolines while the suspect is jumping around and like diving into ball pits.
They're focusing a lot of their attention on the Sky Zone, so you very well be right. Maybe that woman works here or that man works here, and they said, hey, the individual went inside. It looks like that's where they're focusing most of their attention now.
Well, it is quite...
What have you missed, KH? So this dude was driving pretty fast, apparently
Because while
robbery
you were
suspect,
covering
something
it,
like
Scott,
that.
Audi,
He pulled
they
up in
were
front of this
murdering.
building,
They
or on the
were
side of this
using that
building,
vehicle
and just
for,
jumped out of a
all
moving
the
car.
performance skills that it has.
And then the car
there were
went and
times when
crashed,
you could- 100
and
miles an hour
he
took an
ran into
off-ramp
this building.
over a couple of lanes and, you know, nearly clipping people. I didn't see any accidents, though. So
Charles says,
but that
FOIA
vehicle
their
was lowering at such a
body
speed,
cameras.
Everybody was at risk.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
That's
Well,
fucking
there were a
genius,
couple of
dude.
close calls. There's no question in through one intersection. It seems like just missed by inches, if you will. But you can see the sheriff's deputies are now getting their, their bulletproof vests on, getting suited up, and now they're really going inside, and they're slowly going to make sure they clear the sky zone, and time will tell whether or not the suspect is actually inside, but it looks like that they believe that he is at this point in time.
Bring in the fur missiles,
was,
yeah.
Really difficult.
Dude, the
for
whole
unmarked
thing is
vehicles.
funny.
You know, that big truck, I mean, it's not a big truck, but that...
Oh, that's true.
big
So he was
full-size
driving,
truck,
Gina joined the
was
channel,
difficult
and then
for
he
them
just
to
got
keep
out of
up
the
with that
car.
Audi, because that Audi was
It's
really
important
cooking
to
at
note.
Probably 120 miles an hour or even more on the freeway. We didn't have the sky tracker on, our speed tracker on, but boy, he's pulling away from us, and that's saying something.
And Scott, we're going to stick with this for about 2 minutes now. We're going to follow this up until about 10:40 to see if we can find a way that they might be able to take him into custody in the sky zone. That's the vehicle right there. Not a lot of damage to it after it very slow rolled into that post. This is a robbery suspect, and Scott, you had mentioned that they were already probably surveilling him even before the chase began. And that kind of explains why this many officers were able to get on scene so quickly. They were ready to go when this chase started.
Yeah, I believe that's the case.
Yeah, we might not
if
see
you've
the
got
end of this
undercover
one, but I
units
think that
following
it's
you,
pretty
more
clear
than likely, and they're from the
that they're
gang
going to
unit,
find
the
him in
LA County
there.
Sheriff's Department, they want that guy. You know, it's
if
not
they
like somebody
haven't
just failed to
already.
yield. It's somebody that they've been following, surveilling, and now they have a chance to take him into custody. So they're going to do everything in their power to make sure they get this guy. I want to come out with a little bit of a wider shot and see if they're looking in the bushes as well. Right now, it looks like most of the search, though, is in the sky zone.
So we are looking at.
Dude, I mean,
some
at
of
this
the
point, there's so
presence
many
that's
people
in
who
and
are in the
around
sky zone that they probably saw the guy.
And again, this chase
You know?
had been on the 405 quite a bit. It looks like you have some CHP
Although they
officers
are
that
out there.
up on the edge of the 405 freeway.
You'd think at
kinda
this
just
point
making
they
sure
would
nobody
know.
is in the bushes. And so
If he went in or not.
Scott, we're about 30 seconds away from wrapping this up. So do you have any final thoughts? We're going to, of course, cover this at 11 a.m. But do you have any final thoughts on this?
Well, nothing more than the fact that we're fortunate that no one was hit because the vehicle was traveling at such a high rate of speed, coming out of the Compton area onto the 405, ending here at 190th and Western in the sky zone. We don't believe anybody's been hurt. Right now, they're inside the sky zone. They're trying to clear that. It's unclear whether the suspect is really inside, but they do have a search going on in the surrounding area. So traffic-wise, 190th and Western have both been shut down in this area.
Okay, Scott, thanks much. We'll return you to the stream and have the latest on Eyewitness News at 11 a.m.
All right, copy.
Gone in the bathroom and gone up in the ceiling? Maybe. But I mean, I think this dude, I just always presume the people who get in these police chases are just not that resourceful most of the time, you know? Like he's not so smart that he's like, I want to pull over at the sky zone and, you know, have some brilliant plan.
Yeah.
He's just some dumbass guy. He jumped out of a moving car,
So
guys.
let's re-rack
He's not
that
very
video,
smart.
I guess, for the cut-in. Okay.
So while there are many possibilities for how he could trick people, more than likely he's just in there in like a ball pit or something. He's going to get caught. Or they already caught him.
Copy that. Is it a cold open? Okay. It's a self-toss. Nobody interests me. Okay. And I've got a 30. Just give me a cue, and I've got the clock on. I'll hit it.
Scotty says he could have gotten the black SUV. I mean, maybe he's gone. But man, I really think when they go in buildings like this, it tends to be like they have confirmation from the people in the building that some random dude ran inside. You would think that with all the people who were in there, if some guy just like came in running, they probably would have seen it, right? I mean, I know it's a big place, but yo, Chato.
Robbery suspect for what we heard initially. I'm going on here at about.
Sim Mafia, rise the fuck up. Did it not read the TTS? Did I miss it? There's 2 choppers in the area besides the cops. Okay, I'm not sure which news station it is. I've looked at a couple of them. I haven't looked at KTLA. Maybe it's them. Yeah. No. It's not. KTLA is at some school that was evacuated over a potential bomb threat. So that's not cool.
Copy.
Yeah, I don't know who's there.
Showers beginning to move in. Look at the snow.
All right.
They could check security cams, yeah.
I'm Scott Reifin, Air 7HT over Torrance. Moments ago, we saw a suspect, or deputies believe they saw a suspect, run into the sky zone after the end of a pursuit. Now, we want to go to the end of this pursuit. They were pursuing an Audi. The Audi comes to a stop here, and the suspect walks out towards the sky zone. This robbery suspect was being followed by undercover gang unit deputies from the LA County Sheriff's Department. Come back out to a live shot. They're trying to search and clear the sky zone at the moment. Thank you.
Good fall, though, yeah. You might have got hurt doing that. I don't know. Looked like he was all right.
Okay, copy. Did they put Gardena up on the screen?
Was she following him, Charles? I don't think
It
so.
may be Gardena, but I mean, we've been calling it.
What's up, Eddie?
It's gotta be right on the border, so kind of bizarre to change it. Okay, very good. All right, no worries.
I think she probably just saw the dude walking over there and like looked at him. And I think she works there.
We're gonna stream for another 15 minutes.
That was the impression that I got based on that she's wearing the same hoodie as that guy right there. And yeah, Richie, you're like, it ended like, I don't know, freaking 15 minutes ago.
All right, copy that. Thanks.
Yeah, they don't last long. I don't know. That's true lately, and I don't know, basically the entire time I've been doing this. I started streaming chases like 4 years ago. And it's always been rare that they last more than 10 minutes. It ended pretty quick, yeah. But he made it a little interesting by running into a building that they couldn't find him right away. So could have been more. It could have been where we weren't even streaming now. It could have been a 5-minute stream. But now I want to know if they find the guy and if he went into the sky zone. Did they find him, Gina? As far as we know, they have not. Are you on the clock? No, I'm not on the clock, actually. I start working about an hour and a half. I'm working night shift tonight. Which means I'm getting paid to watch sports tonight, and that's legit. That's the dream. I got to do some stuff, but for the most part.
Copy that. You want to re-cue that video for me, Marcel?
Recue the video of him getting out of the car again?
And lead me up, and I'll do a hit here.
Okay.
All right.
What do you do for a living? I'm
we are looking down at the Sky Zone. This is
I work in
190th
social media.
Western in Gardena, borders Gardena and Torrance here, just south of the 405 freeway. We had a high-speed pursuit of a suspect driving a black Audi at a high rate of speed. There's a vehicle right now, right there. The suspect is said to be a robbery suspect, was being followed by robbery homicide gangland detectives from the LA County Sheriff's Department. That's one of their vehicles. A blue vehicle was one of the vehicles pursuing the suspect vehicle, as well as the vehicle you see right there initially. So we believe that the sheriff's deputies have a good idea. A good idea of who the suspect is. Right now, they believe the suspect is inside the Sky Zone, and at this point in time, they're just trying to clear it. More than likely, they're looking at surveillance cameras. They also called a canine to come in and make sure they can clear the Sky Zone. It was really kind of unclear whether or not the suspect went into the Sky Zone. It may have been a
Yo,
witness
don't
who
let
saw
dogs
that, but
run on the
sheriff's deputies
trampolines,
were far
man.
enough behind, and the helicopter overhead really didn't get a good look. So now they're waiting for canine. Sheriff's deputies are inside the Sky Zone searching for this individual. Said to be a robbery suspect, but because we believe the suspect was being surveilled by robbery homicide detectives, more than likely it's a suspect they've really been trying to capture for some point in time. We believe the individual was under surveillance. It did appear to be a man that was driving that vehicle, nonchalantly walked away, and then went inside the Sky Zone. So we're going to keep an eye on this for a bit. We don't believe there are any injuries or any accidents during the crash. At this point in time, we're just trying to get the suspect into custody peacefully.
They're going to have to rescue the canine from the foam pit. Yeah, don't do it.
I guess you can re-rack the video, and I'll just do it again here in a couple minutes.
He's just going to keep doing this over and over. How many news stations is he on? Charles, you think that the guy in the orange hoodie is grounds? I mean, that looks like something you'd wear if you were in there. I don't know. Yeah, the dog would just be like overwhelmed by this place.
All right, I'll do another one. Just get ready to roll the tape.
I don't know, guys. What do you think?
We're over Gardena, over the Sky Zone at 190th and Western. Now, earlier this morning, there was a high-speed pursuit of a black Audi. You see the Audi right there on the curb.
Should I just call it?
Western here at 190th. You see it under the Highline wires. I will show you some video. It's a robbery suspect being followed by the gang unit, the LA County Sheriff's Department, in unmarked vehicles. Suspect came down 190th at this point in time, and then you see him slow and then get out of the vehicle. Fell for
Yeah,
a
the
moment,
building has that same
nonchalantly
color.
sort of walked away. There was an LA County Sheriff's helicopter overhead. They did not actually.
Dimitri,
see him
good
for a moment.
question. How are we going to be able to
I
see
believe
the
a witness
inside?
told the Sheriff's Department and the deputies that the suspect is inside the Sky Zone. So at this point in time, they're trying to clear it. We've seen a lot of people come out.
Okay, so they do wear that, the Sky Zone people?
They have called for a canine unit to conduct the search to see if the suspect is actually inside the Sky Zone here. At a time of both 190th and Western, they shut down the surface streets. They have been reopened, so there's not much in the way of traffic consequences here. There was a search originally in some of the bushes and some of the side streets.
Give out the gifts. Okay, hold on.
At this point in time, they believe the suspect is barricaded.
I figured out how to do it
inside the
last time.
Sky
I can
Zone.
probably do it again.
We're going to keep an eye on this from the air. There were no accidents, as far as we know, involved in the actual pursuit, although, boy, it was at an extremely high rate of speed. well over 100 miles an hour on the 405 freeway and on high speeds on the surface streets. We saw a couple close calls, but we didn't see a collision. We don't believe that anyone's been hurt. Right now, sheriff's deputies just methodically going to go through this large building. It's a pretty large structure. We pull out of this shot, the sky zone. So they got to search that entire structure to see if the suspect is actually inside. That is underway, but you can get through this area. They haven't shut down the surface streets, just the sky zone and the gas station next door. I'm Scott Reif in Air 7 HD.
Okay. I gifted the 5. RG got one. Okay, okay. He was asking me to gift him, and there you go. You got one. Hell yeah. All right. Good deal. It's too bad I can't just, like, give him one at a time to people, but... I mean, I guess he could have, Merle. Like, now they're running somewhere else. Yo, they're all moving somewhere else. What's happening?
Am I up? So if you're with us online here, we've been following this story. And
This guy's running.
We're searching the sky zone, but it looks like now they must have some information that the suspect is outside the sky zone. Moments ago, we saw a lot of LA County Sheriff's deputies.
But then they run over there and then they turn around right away?
Exactly why they did that. Now, they ran out and then they stopped. It gave us an initial indication, I thought, looking at this, that the suspect was possibly out here. There they go. Looks like they do have the suspect. So the suspect that led police on that high-speed pursuit led
Wait, there he is.
Detectives,
Got him.
Gang unit detectives in unmarked vehicles on a high-speed pursuit along the 405 freeway onto surface streets and down into the Gardena area is now in custody. We believe they knew who the suspect was. These were gang unit deputies, from what we understand, and most cases the individuals are under surveillance when we see unmarked vehicles in pursuits like this. So
yeah, he's got nice jeans, dude.
Custody. No one was injured as far as you know, so that is good news. From Air 7 HD, I'm Scott Reif, ABC 7.
All right, shout out to Scott. He must have gone out to the side or the back, yeah. I don't know. Whatever it wasn't that smart. He managed to evade the police for quite a while there. Like, I mean, like probably like 25 minutes.
Hi, Steph. Besides, I'm losing my voice. I'm great.
Is he Asian? I thought he was, but I don't know. It looked like he was Asian to me. Yeah, he's got. That's what I thought. That haircut. I thought that looked like Asian haircut. All right, man. That's it. I'll be home all night, so if I go live again, it's because there is another police chase. So come back if that happens. Otherwise, I'll just see you, I guess, on Thursday. I'm definitely going to do an IRL stream. Thursday is my birthday. So we're going to go out, do something like that. Maybe Friday, too. I took those days off work. Okay.